Hey, we're back at the top again today with another type to fix. Long ago, before I reworded everything in this intro, we went over all the types heading into Generation 7, but I don't think those truly were the best fixes, so I feel like we need to remaster the series and come up with something even better. This is now the 9th video in the remastered series, so if you missed the others, check the link in the description below. Today's type is none other than the electric type. This type is a fast and offensive type, but with it leaves out a lot of potential options, so we should fix that. But with that, it's time to dive in. Let's find out how Pokemon Sword and Shield can fix the electric type. One of the common issues with the electric type, if you even want to call it common, is that it's overly reliant on special attacks. Mainly you see Thunderbolt, Discharge, and Volt Switch. The many physical moves are lesser used, being Thunder Punch and Wild Charge. And even with those moves, the gap between them is wide, and Wild Charge has recoil damage. And because of this, there's only one physical electric Pokemon even in the upper tiers. The rest are all in the lower tiers. That Pokemon is of course Zeraora, but it's only up there due to its speed, and it's the only one with access to the move Plasma Fist. So if any subsection of this type needs any help, it's the physical side, because it's in dire need of it. And due to the primarily speedy and specially offensive focused nature of this type, they are in dire need of physical offense, but they also are in dire need of defensive options. When you take a look at a list, you don't see many defensive options for this type. I mean, yeah, the Rotoms are a great option defensively, but is that really what you are looking for? They basically are the same Pokemon, bar the secondary typing and the access to a specific move. When I looked at the electric type in itself, I realized it actually can't solve this alone. I'm gonna have to break my rule of quote-unquote not reliant on its own typing to solve this, because the electric type by itself can't really be defensive. It's only resisting 3 types, being itself, steel, and flying. So unfortunately, later on, we'll be calling onto another type to assist us in solving this issue. This next fix is definitely coming out of left field. We're not talking about abilities, or moves, or even Pokemon. In fact, we're going to have a small essay on how useful the battery is. Single A, double A, triple A, C batteries. We were so reliant on these things to even play Pokemon in the past, that nowadays we just rely on our rechargeable batteries without having to pester our parents for more batteries. And over time, batteries have gotten better. The original Game Boy needed 4 double A's to work, and like I said before, now we just plug our 3DSs into the wall to recharge. Such improvement. Wow. However, something in the games make literally no sense to me at all. The cell battery remains relatively useless. Nobody uses it. In fact, there's a line of these items that could be fixed. Anyways, the cell battery raises the holder's attack when hit by an electric attack. I feel like if these items want to be more useful, they would need to boost more than just that. We'll buff the others together later on, but with the cell battery, I feel like if it ever wants to get used, it also needs to boost speed. There's a reason people love Dragon Dance over Howl. Dragon Dance boosts attack and speed, while Howl just boosts attack. 2 for the price of 1, and that's all that matters. Once again, the type we're covering today actually already has a big benefit. The electric type cannot be paralyzed at all, not even by Stun Spore or Glare. That's a huge advantage, so we need to get them something smaller in terms of a benefit. So I was thinking around the basis of electric terrain, right? If you don't know, electric terrain prevents Pokemon from falling asleep, which means I thought that was something to work off of. No, I'm not saying electric types should be immune to sleep. The thing I was actually thinking was, what if electric types' max amount of sleep turns was 2 instead of 3? If electric terrain keeps everyone awake, then it has to be hard for the electric type Pokemon to stay asleep, right? Today's new regional form will be something that everyone has wanted for a long time. This regional variant will appear in the Sinnoh version of the Galar Gauntlet, so call this a sneak peek. Remember though, since we are trying to fix the typing, we have to create the concepts to match the fixes. If you want to check out the original, that link is in the description below. Today we have Luxray, a Pokemon often loved, but forgotten by the competitive scene. But it has adapted to its new habitat of the sketchy part of the city, and has gained the dark typing with this design from Villy C. Due to the fact that it needs to get around the city more, its defenses fall, but in response, its speed gains. It keeps the ability of Intimidate, but it gains the abilities of Sheer Force and Galvanize. We are all still waiting for a Dark Electric Luxray. Hopefully it shows up soon. I couldn't really think of anything spectacular for the ability related to the electric type, especially when I wanted to fix what I listed today. But then I thought of something defensive. We already have the ability of Static, but that's not really on any defensive Pokemon. What we can do is create a new ability for the electric type that channels Rough Skin and Iron Barbs, but with a twist. Today's ability is called Short Circuit. What this ability does is, if the foe makes contact with a Pokemon, the foe takes damage from the high amounts of electricity. If the Pokemon is weak to electric, this damage is doubled. This would be a great response to Bird Spam. Getting hit with Brave Bird Recoil, plus the Rocky Helmet damage, plus the Short Circuit double damage would make people think twice from clicking Brave Bird willy-nilly. Today's move helps out for those physical electric types I mentioned earlier. It will help bridge the gap between Thunder Punch and Wild Charge. It will be a great attack to use, and let me explain why. Today's electric type move is called Kinetic Strike. It's a 95 base power physical electric type move where the user builds up enough kinetic energy to use to slam it into the foe. The user has a 15% chance to boost its speed by 1 stage. It's a great way to potentially set up a sweep with this move due to the speed boost, and hopefully it would become a staple for physical electric types as they gain some relevance in the metagame. Remember when I mentioned how the electric type would need the help of another type to make it more defensive? Well, allow me to introduce you to this concept from Dark and Windy, Freshdoor. Freshdoor is an electric and grass type, and it's here to fill that defensive hole. In its dex entry, from Windy's site, states that these Pokemon glide into thunderstorms in order to absorb electricity via both its tail and the horn on its head. Its blood is now completely electrified and can be seen through its body as a light. Its stats show how defensive it can be with a great defensive spread of 100 base HP, 125 base defense, and 84 special defense. Don't overlook its offensive stats though. With 100 base attack, 61 base special attack, and a very overlooked 85 base speed, you will wonder what hit you after you lose to this thing. With the abilities of Lightning Rod, since that's what its dex entry says, Heat Proof due to its blood being electrified, it would kind of negate the flame's power, I believe, and Short Circuit due to its blood being highly conductive. There will be a lot of defensive options with this Pokemon. Not only that, but with the moves Leaf Blade, Kinetic Strike, Earthquake, and Recover, good luck taking this Pokemon down. So I truly hope we were able to fill the defensive void of the electric type that it leaves. No pun intended. And if someday a Pokemon like this is revealed, I hope to see it live up to the potential. But whiz is that, ow. I don't love getting shocks, but that will wrap up the ways we can fix the electric type. If you have any ideas how to fix the electric type, be sure to let me know in the comment section below. Best idea gets electrocuted to the top. Which type should I cover next time? Be sure to pick your favorite as we are remastering all the types leading up to Pokemon Sword and Shield, so we still have a lot to cover. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to start the climb today, but with that, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll catch you back at the top later on, because that's how we just do it.